Blair, who's your favorite comedian?
I think I'm going to have to go with Dave Chappelle.
Me too. He is so funny.
I love him. I think just the way that he talks and the way that he's
brilliant.
So brilliant.
Yeah, and we talk a little bit about the special that he just did, the 846, which was really powerful, emotional.
Yeah. Yep.
But during our podcast with Lindsey Gerhard at Citizens Trust, which is coming up next, we learned that she knows Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Like hung out with him.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Amazing.
I mean, he does live in Yellow Springs, which is very close to Columbus, and she was working in Dayton, which is just outside of Yellow Springs. So fun story. So glad we finally got to connect with Lindsay. We've known her for a long time.
She's
Love
so
her.
awesome.
She's awesome. We were just really grateful that she took the time out during this crazy quarantine and protests and all that's going on to talk with us. And so I hope you enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to If This Bar Could Talk, a podcast about bartenders and the stories they have to tell, as well as the storied history of cocktails, spirits, and bars. I'm Blair Beavers, and here's your host, Leanne Sims.
Hey, Lindsay.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you? Thanks for being with us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
How's you been?
It's been weird. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had like more than a week off, let alone like 3 months, I guess. And, you know, especially with starting the year with Angels Envy as well, it was like 7 days a week from the get-go, and then it was just nothing. So it's been a weird adjustment, but I think it's been good. I think a lot of us really needed that kind of pause to get back into, you know, the idea of everything.
When was your last day at Citizens Trust?
March 14th, maybe, I think. It was the Saturday before everything closed down. So, yeah, I think it was the 14th.
And how did you learn about you were going to be closing for a while?
I was actually at a friend's house and on Sunday, and we were watching that terrible TV show, Love is Blind. And all of a sudden, I started getting texts from Rebecca Monday, Annie Williams-Pierce, and everyone else being like, hey, check the news. We're closed. Like, we're done. So tuned in and then went over to Lawbird just to, you know, see Annie. And it was really good, but really sad. Because, like, it was kind of where everyone went. A lot of hugs, a lot of tears. Annie's one of my best friends. So, you know, watching her business grow so well and then just close was heartbreaking. But so that was a weird time. And then we were like, okay, well, this is going to last, you know, a couple weeks and then keep going and, you know, answering a lot of like unemployment questions that I didn't know the answer to. And like myself, I didn't get my unemployment for 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't, like, again, very lucky that I had Angels Envy on the side and all the other things, but still, yeah, I was like, okay, maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't, I don't know.
Wow. So what do you mean you have Angels Envy? Tell me about that.
So starting this year, I started working for Angels Envy as their whiskey guardian it'll eventually be all of Ohio, but for right now it's Columbus. Yeah. So I'm basically their brand ambassador. I'll go around, I do educations, staff trainings, I'll host events, just kind of anywhere. Right now we're working on bottle engravings. Awesome. So fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a good change.
We'll have to get you into our bourbon club and do a
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And the women in whiskey, maybe you could present.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm here for anything anybody wants to do. I've offered somebody, I was like, anybody just want to sit around and listen to me talk about whiskey for a while? I'll do it.
We always do.
So what have you been doing during this furlough?
Um, I've been going on a lot of walks. I live in the short north, so my friends just stop by. Logan usually stops by my house at any given point of the day, at least like 4 times a week. Knocks, and then I look out my window. I'm like, okay, Logan's here. Great. But a lot of walking. I've been going down to see my family a lot. I'm from Dayton, so my mom has been just loving it. She was like, I know you miss work, and she's like, I know you're ready to go back, but I'm gonna be sad because I can't just call you to come down anymore.
Aw, that's awesome.
So it's been good to see a lot of the family. Like, I have 2 nephews and a niece, so I was able to, go down and celebrate everybody's birthdays and kind of like get back to the basics and like readjust a lot of things that I would put on the side. My house is immaculately clean for the first time in who knows how long.
Awesome.
Have you been baking any bread? Because I was.
I think I have to be the only person who isn't baking bread. Like, I have to be. But all my friends are, so I'm like, hey, I know that you guys can't eat all of that forever. So, like, one of my friends started making pizzas in like the same fashion when we all worked at Harvest. They figured out kind of how to make the dough. So we've been making those a lot, and that's been great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're originally from Dayton. What brought you to Columbus?
I've been in Columbus for about 10 years, maybe a little under. I came here with a boyfriend at one point and started working at El Camino was my first job. And it was like right when they opened. So there was no 16-bit or anything like that. It was a very weird area.
Yeah.
So I think I probably have all of my craziest bar stories from that job in 9 months. And I was at Curio for 6 years, been at Citizens for 2 almost. But so I've just randomly worked my way through the system, I guess.
So what's your craziest El Camino bar story?
One time when we had just put the patio in outside, I was leaving work. It was like one of the first times I'd been cut early, and El Camino and Little Palace have a connecting back hallway. And my car was parked right out front, and I was walking out and I saw this guy sitting on our patio, and I was like 21, 22, and just really thought I was a lot tougher than I was, which happens. And this guy, this like older man, he was homeless, but he had come in a lot and he was always really nice, would just sit in the corner and read a book. I saw him sitting on the patio and I said to him, I was like, hey, you can't have those 4 Locos out here, and he got really mad at me, very defensive. He was like, you can't tell me what to do. And I was like, all right. And I was managing at the time. I was like, I have to go inside. I have to call the cops. Like, you're not going to comply. Long story short, he rolled out his sleeping bag on the patio, cracked every one of them open, started chugging them, and then screaming expletives at me, put on hand wraps at one point to try and fight me. It was like, it escalated so fast. I didn't even know how to stop it. I was like, it's now 4 a.m. and I want to go home, but you're now in front of my car and I just can't leave. This is my nightmare. And then when the cops came to arrest him, he jumped over the balcony. Like, he like winked at me and then jumped over to try and like grab me, and they slammed him down and then made me write my statement on his window the whole time when he was like, I'm coming for you. I never saw him again, but I was like, all right, never mind. I don't want to correct people anymore. I'm very scared of this.
Crazy. So
People are wild.
You went from El Camino to Curio?
I did. I went from El Camino and then I was at Harvest for maybe like 2 months or so. And it was like a random lunch shift, and Travis Owens just walked up to me and he was like, hey, come talk to me whenever you have a minute. And I walked over and he was like, hey, you want to work here? And I was like, yeah, yes, I do. And he was like, great, you start tomorrow. And then that was it. And however many years later, I was like, all right, cool. This is a great job. It's probably one of my favorite jobs I've ever had.
How sad were you when that closed?
Oh, heartbroken. Wow. Absolutely. It was definitely something that we all saw coming. And it's not to say we weren't profitable. We were, one of the busiest, most recognized bars in Ohio, from what I would say. But it was time for a new change. And the way I think our entire staff kind of put it was really sad, but all of us were so talented in our own different ways. We kind of needed to be kicked out of the nest a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so many great things have happened from that. I moved on to Citizens. Annie opened Lawbird. Yep. Ben is doing amazing things right now. Everyone was kind of able to branch out and find their own niche. Cade now lives in Texas, working for the owner and creator of IBM, doing art restorations for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just like crazy things. I was like, all right, everybody's doing great here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Citizens Trust, do you have a date for reopening?
Not currently. As of right now, the plans were that around June 15th or so, we were all going to sit down and discuss everything. But, there are bigger things in the world happening right now. So we're kind of stepping back and seeing what we can do to give back in other ways. And, luckily our landlords are very kind to us and, understand the circumstances. So we are blessed that we have the time. I know a lot of places aren't so fortunate. So that's been good. We're hoping around July, but the internet will tell. I'll eventually post something. I just don't want to give anyone false hope that like, hey, come get a cocktail. Because, as of last week, we were on curfew. So
yeah.
Yep.
So I love how Veritas is selling their extraordinary selection of wines.
Oh, it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, we bought a bottle of Dom Perignon. We bought a bottle of Clicquot, which I've never had before. And I love that they're giving the proceeds to you guys. Kudos to them.
It's really an incredible company. And, a lot of kudos to Greg for putting that together. And, I saw him a couple weeks after everything had closed. I came in and I was doing some cleaning and some rearranging with the bars and helped him for one day. I put some of the bottles together and I walked in and I was overwhelmed. He was like, Lindsay, I haven't really had a day off. He's like, I'm busier now than I was when we were running a full restaurant because they were doing the delivery and, the price point was low and it was incredible.
Yeah, that's very smart and a wonderful thing. And it's a great service for us, because it's curated by professionals. But yeah, we so look forward to
it's going to be a completely different program. And again, I'm very fortunate that all of my best friends are, have been in the game for so long, have their ideas. So I've been talking a lot with Rebecca Money and Annie about, what are we going to be able to do because, if you're at a dive bar or wherever, cracking a beer and handing that is different. I think for us, what we really work to, perfect in a certain way is how we deliver the cocktail. We create an experience, which is why beyond that, we're able to charge so much, a little bit more higher than other people. And, there's an art form to it. Yeah. It's so once we're kind of restricted in that way, it changes everything. Instead of me being able to sit there and, make you a cocktail and grab a whole bunch of things, I'm going to have to focus more on draft cocktails, bottled cocktails, the whole business sense changes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so much more for safety and things that we're not necessarily used to having to look out for, like social distancing, wearing gloves, making sure people are taken care of, masks. It's going to be a different ball game, but I feel like everyone's really ready for it. It's going to be a nice shift.
So, but just so our listeners can have a little comfort, Citizens Trust is definitely going to reopen.
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. And I am very excited for it. I'm excited for just the overall bar industry and their change, but I definitely have a couple things up my sleeve and how we're going to be able to really make the experience just as exciting, but in a different way. One of our favorite things to do, and I'm sure you guys are aware, is our menus. We love messing with our menus. We love trying to change it up every time. And right now, since a lot of people aren't doing contact menus, we can change them online. I can change a cocktail every day of the week if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's so fun because I am very well known, and Logan loves to make fun of me for it, that I am the make me something person. I love off the cuff things. And as long as I, God willing, remember to write them down constantly, which I don't, but it's fine. So I'm very excited for that aspect of it.
What are you making at home during quarantine cocktail for yourself?
So I have been making a lot of, Angel Envy has been asking us to do, cocktails from home and that kind of thing. And so that's actually been still fun to create things. And at home, I can definitely get a little bit more weird than usual. Like everybody has their pantry challenge, but my pantry is just full of nonsense. So, making like a haichu syrup because haichus are amazing. Or, I still have a lot of shiso syrup from when we were open, taking that home and frozen it. And so a lot of really like wonky pisco sours. My neighbors, we share a patio, and they have a garden that's full of lemon balm, which I've been definitely taking a lot of advantage of. A lot of sage, a rhubarb strawberry syrup, throw a little bit of gin in there. It's been fun.
Awesome.
So will any of those things be on the menu when?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. So many, again, tahini, I've been throwing that in everything I can because it's one of my favorite things in the world.
So you mentioned several different syrups. I didn't recognize the first two that you said.
Haichu is a Japanese candy.
Okay.
They're kind of like Starburst, but they have a little bit of like a different texture to them. And they also have different flavors. They have like kiwi, banana, strawberry, and you can pick them up at Saraga. Actually, like right now, I think a lot more places have started carrying them because they kind of had like the Topo Chico blow up, as I like to so endearingly call it. So, make a simple syrup, cook that down as well, add it in. Or shiso. Shiso is like a Japanese mint. It's really, really funky. It's I took that from Curio for sure because Travis Owens absolutely loves shiso. And you do the same thing. I always just like kind of steep it in to break out some of the flavors in it. And it creates almost this like floral sweet mint to it, if you will.
Okay.
And then I'll throw that into a daiquiri. Daiquiris are always my go-to. I just can't get enough of them.
Me too. I love a daiquiri. They're the best. Tell us your best bar story. I know you told us the El Camino one.
That one's just wild. Ooh, that's always a good question. Yeah. I would say I think one of my best bar stories is a very quick one, but it is the day that I was at Curio. We were very busy, and I happened to be running the floor. And I'm not a tall person, but apparently Aaron Rodgers was in the bar, and he was a famous football player. Okay. And I yelled at him to get out of my way multiple times, and I accidentally threatened to kick him out. And our kitchen staff at Harvest was like, "Did you just yell at Aaron Rodgers?" And I was like, "I don't know. If he's your friend, tell him to move." And then immediately after, they were like, "Are you kidding me?" And I called my dad, and he was like, "Don't yell at famous people." I was like, "Well, Dad, he didn't move. It wasn't very nice. He was very big and in my way." He was like, "That's what football players are, Lindsay. They're big." Back in Dayton, I worked at Sidebar, the original one. Yeah. And Dave Chappelle used to come in all the time. Another famous person I would never recognize, ever. And I actually met him on Father's Day when I think I was like 19 or 20 or something. And I saw it on the reservation books, and I didn't believe it. I was like, who put Dave Chappelle down? That's dumb. So this giant, because every time I'd seen him before that, it was on the Chappelle show, and he was super lanky. And so this really giant black dude walks in, like super built, and like smoked a cig outside, threw it, walked in with sunglasses, straight to the back. And I was like, all right, okay, well. And I was standing outside after my shift was done, drinking a coffee, and he comes out and stands next to me, and he was like, "Heard you didn't believe Dave Chappelle was here." And I was like, yeah, can you believe somebody would write that down? That's dumb. We're in Dayton. Having the actual conversation with Dave Chappelle. And he couldn't get over the fact that I didn't believe it was him. So he started coming in all the time, hang out with me at the host stand. We would karaoke every Thursday together.
Oh my God.
Roller disco, laser tagging together.
Wow.
Great. He's one of the nicest humans you will ever meet.
That's amazing. He's great. So you're in the short north. What's it been like with all of the marching and protesting? Have you joined in at all?
I have been in a couple of the protests. I've been doing a couple marches. It's been interesting because, you know, I see online a lot of people reporting things and being like, they're tearing down our city, and complete opposite for me. Yeah. I personally think what's going on is beautiful. Yeah. I think beyond the fact that it's completely boarded up, the Short North looks stunning. The artwork is incredible. You know, people have been so kind. My neighbors and I have offered like our houses and our patios during the curfew for people if they needed like a break, or, you know, to step aside if they didn't think they were going to make it home and were concerned to pop by.
That's great.
Like, I'm definitely in the heart. I live right by Mission Coffee and like Mouton.
Yeah.
So, but it's been honestly very calm down here. Good. Everybody's been very respectful. You know, it's definitely been different. It's eerily quiet. Driving, I think I'm going to have a hard time getting used to again once people start trafficking through. But
yeah. Well, Lindsay, you look amazing.
Thanks, guys.
And we're so happy. We've been trying to get you on our podcast for so long. We wish we could see you in person, but, you know.
As soon as you guys are ready, let me know. I have nothing but time. I'm very free.
Well, thanks for taking the time to be here.
Oh, thank you guys so much for reaching out. It was so good to see you.
And we look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes, I'll see you guys so soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Listeners, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Seabus Craft Cocktail Tour. Visit our website at columbuscraftcocktailtour.com for cocktail tour dates, women and whiskey tastings, special events, merchandise. And if you're looking for a gift for that special person in your life, get them a gift card to our cocktail tour. Thank you to our producer, Greg Hansberry, and to the biographer for our original music. And please remember to drink responsibly and be cocktail curious. Cheers.